Whew. Hiya. So we've been here for a few hours, but it was so hectic, it was so full on. I wasn't able to get my phone out. It was just too much to handle. I think we had about. You'll see it on Harry's filming. He had his camera out. There was over like 50 people all surrounding us. So it's really difficult. That's why we're late today. But we were here on time. So can you hear me okay? Can you give us an okay, one of you? Excellent, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, Harry's just asked them to go on film, but they don't want to. You know. Cool. Would you like to take a leaflet?
Yes, I am. I'm very curious. Thank you.
There's a website address in there. Yeah. Oh, yes. It's. I'm almost. I'm resting now. It's. I think my voice is a little bit coarse now. It's been hard work. It has. So that's a shame, isn't it? The young lad there is laughing his head off because that's the indoctrination in us. You know, like once we get this indoctrination, you know, like it's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's our brainwashing. So, do you want to take a leaflet there, buddy? Okay, excellent. Have you come across it before? Have you come across it before? Excellent. Yeah. And what was your views on it? Did you take up the challenge and try to debunk it, so to say?
I tried to. I can't say I was successful in that.
No. I failed completely. You know, like because a lot of the arguments in this are that they're really pretty solid, and I think I would have. You probably agree with me. The two biggest proofs that we live on a globe, would it be photographs from space and gravity holding water to a ball? That would have to be the two main things. But are you okay with this, by the way? I'll tell you what. I'll put it on me. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. It's on me. Hi guys. Yeah. So the two main proofs is photographs that were from space, but if you research all of them photographs, it's all CGI nonsense. You know, like if you look into it, and even NASA, they give out the photographs of the Earth, and I mean you must be able to see the difference. I mean, like I've got some pictures over there. Oh, is it over there? Yes, up there. And how different they all are. And there's official NASA photographs inside, inside there, and that's only 1 year apart. Look how different they are. 1 year apart. It's the same circle, same size circle, and yet America seems to have shrunk. But these are official, you know, like, and so our photographs are not. So they're in question. Okay, and then we get to gravity and we say, you know, like to people, well, what is gravity? What is this magic force, this Harry Potter wizardry? And mainstream science doesn't know what it is. They can explain the effects of gravity, but they don't know what it is. and then I speak to other people, and I don't know where their education comes from. They say, oh, it's the iron core, it's the magnets, it's this and that, and the other. But no one seems to know, and everybody's confused by it. And so we're asking questions, say, well, why do you believe in such wizardry? So there's a website in there, and we're just getting people to just to critically use a bit of critically thinking and try and you heard that word debunk, and try and debunk and use your own judgment on it, or maybe speak to a few people, get some answers. All right then, buddy, take care. There you go, guys. He was respectful, but he didn't want to go on camera, a bit shy. Yeah. Oh, they're going on camera. Would you like to take a leaflet? There you go. You got any questions?
No.
No? Well, if you have, come and... Well, just shout. I was going to say come and find me, but I'm here. Harry's at it. Harry is such a star. He engages with everybody, gets them all on camera. I think it is because he starts off very light-hearted, like going through as usual, on a scale 1 to 10, how open-minded are you all? So take a leaflet. No, you kind of know it all. That's all right, that's okay. A lot of people, they have their cups are all already full and don't want to accept anything else. That's different. That's okay. The problem is we've had so many kids here today, and it just gets a bit of a mockery, it does. It's hard work. With all the smoking going on. They think we're crazy, and they're putting all that crap in our lungs. Hey? Oh.
Cal, do you like my new lighter? Just taxed it.
Yeah, signs and symbols. Look at this thing here. So it's been a really busy day here so far. We've got bombarded the second that I dropped banners. We've been here for approximately 2 hours, I think. Oh yes, told you. Yeah, we got bombarded. Harry's got it on film. I couldn't even find time to get my camera out of my pocket. I was dancing around all over the place. Probably about 50-60 people all around us, and barking questions at us and not waiting for any answers. It was quite a challenge to begin with, and compasses. Yeah, I know. Look at that. But it's quietened off a little bit now, which is it seems as though it's all manageable there now. Would you like to take a leaflet? No, you okay? You sure? You don't need to. Well, yeah. Would you like a leaflet? Are you open-minded? Closed-minded? So yeah, well, I expect everybody to. I mean, anyone that comes to this for the first time, they should be believing in the globe. Should be, because we're all indoctrinated with the same education.
Every other planet is blue.
Okay, why would you think that? Which one? Let's say Mercury, for instance. You've seen Mercury or Pluto. Well, you've seen NASA CGI images, haven't you? But you've never seen an actual photograph.
Have you seen it?
Well, I know they don't exist in the way that you think that your CGI cartoons. See what you say? You see?
You can see Mars from Earth.
You can see some sort of blob light in the sky. Yeah, of course you can. I agree that.
I've seen it through a telescope.
But you can't really see a 3D sphere. Not with looking through a telescope. Really? Your one eye can see 3D. You're the only one in science that can do that. The eye. Can I just say that the eye can't see 3D?
No, I've seen circular shape.
Circle. Yeah, and which planet are we talking about? Jupiter. You've seen. Could it be Saturn you were referring to, maybe, with the rings? Really? And you're happy. So I see kind of lights in the sky, and then when we zoom in there, they just look like especially. I mean, you're having a deep, meaningful talk rather than chit chat and meaningless. So yeah, any other questions, guys?
So the thing there about the 70% equation is always level.
Yes. Is it not? It is though, yes?
Yeah. But,
Water's level?
yeah, water's level.
Okay, and water has to be contained. Like, the water's not coming out of that container there. It has to be contained. So we're all agreeing on something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's level and it's so water bending round a ball.
Yeah. Because of a field of gravity.
A field, excellent.
Not at all.
Right, so wait, hang on. Hey, listen, he says not at all.
The earth is spinning. It's like if you get a bowl of water and spin the water doesn't actually come out.
Centrifugal.
Yeah, centrifugal force keeps the water in place.
Okay.
But then there's also gravity playing a factor.
Excellent. Right, because that's what we're taught. Okay. So did you know it's called the theory of gravity, and it is not, and it's magic. It's like Harry Potter wizardry. Okay. Mainstream science doesn't even know what gravity is. Did you know? But you're taught it in school as a fact to pass an exam. But mainstream science, that's right. Well, I thought that. Now I challenge you to go back and look at all the arguments. What scientists say, they don't know what gravity is, but it's taught to you as a fact, and you just repeated, regurgitated, and top marks. You're going to pass your exam, but that's what they want you to do, and that's why I accepted exactly what you did a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but right, are you just talking about the Earth being flat, or what about the other planets?
Okay, well, we're just looking at that, and when we say other planets, you know, like I look at the moon. For me, the moon is the closest thing that maybe it looks like a sphere if I must look at it as something. Everything else just looks like circles.
Yeah, but then, you know the sun?
Okay, the sun.
The sun, yeah. Right, it's a ball in the sky, yeah? Right, and as it's going along...
So again, a ball in the sky.
Yeah, it's a ball in the sky.
Why does it look like a ball? Because I've put solar filters on my camera, and then when I look at it, it doesn't look like this big fiery gas giant. It doesn't look like a sphere.
That's because it's miles and miles and miles away.
Do you know how many miles? Do you want me to tell you?
1,000 million miles, I don't know.
How come it's
Close. It's actually well, give or take a few million, but it's 93 million miles away. That's what they say the sun is. But
not a ball, but it is in fact a ball, so is the Earth.
right, okay. I'll give you a little science lesson. This is what mainstream science says. This is what mainstream science says. You are spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. This is Earth spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. You are traveling around the sun, which is meant to be 93 million miles away. You are traveling at 67,000 miles an hour. Okay, the sun is hurtling through the galaxy at 500,000 miles an hour and dragging us all the way along. Okay, and then the galaxy itself is dragging all the way along at another 500,000 miles an hour. Okay, so think of all of these motions and all of these turns and all these things, and then all your stars that are up there, they're doing the same motions. They're spinning around, doing their own trajectories, going off a million miles here, 500,000 there. All of these stars that are trillions and quadrillions of miles away. Okay, and yet when we look at the stars, we see the same stars night after night since astronomy began. The pyramids of Giza still perfectly aligned to Orion's belt since astronomy began. We have Polaris that has never moved in forever since astronomy began, and yet that does make sense, doesn't it? We should see some form of parallax between stars that should pass, and yet we do not.
It's light shift. We can't see it physically with our eyes. We can only see the light shift.
So we have a hypothesis. Because it's a bit of a theory, sort of thing. Because is it something that we can evidence? Then can you prove it to any one of these people right now?
Because the same thing is happening with the moon.
Okay, sorry. Because one thing happens to another, does it happen to others? Because these guys are all smoking, and so really, you should be smoking. I should be smoking. Why do they all correlate? Why do you think they correlate? No, I'm not saying that's a dick. But do you see what I'm saying? You know.
What do they have to gain?
Oh, you've gone straight to the why. No. Okay.
What's to gain?
Oh yeah. Would you like my proof? What's the gain, or do you want the proof? No, sorry. Hey, look, I can't change anybody's opinion in 5 minutes, and I'm not expecting to. I'm hoping to give you enough of a. Well, I could be. So that's why I would like you to go away and use your own critical thinking and examine some of the evidence. You're asking for the why. You're asking for the big one. Okay.
That's a lie.
What about Google Earth?
So give us a second.
That's a lie.
So basically, there's if you look at. Admiral E. Byrd. There's
I'm not saying why is it flat, I'm saying why would NASA lie about it?
Okay. Sorry.
What's to gain?
Well, NASA themselves, if we're just talking about NASA, they're getting £53 million per day, NASA, and to present you with CGI cartoons of planets. With nothing else, they're fun and games in the International Space Station, putting nice pretty cars up in space, nothing to gain, having a bit of a laugh. But all of these space agencies, I'm sorry for my French, but they're all taking the piss. You know, £53 million a day. I've just seen homeless down there, sleeping over there. £53 million a day. So yeah, I mean, like, if we're talking about NASA alone, but I don't think that's the main why that you should be asking.
You didn't answer the question, what have they got to gain from lying?
Well, it's not £53 million a day enough?
Well, what's that? It doesn't make sense.
Why? You don't think money's a motive for people?
Well, you're saying they're being given money to lie.
Well, they are. They're getting £53 million per day since NASA started. All of this money.
To lie.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like to lie, but yes, we say that NASA is the biggest deceptive. You know, because your whole reason why you think that you live on the globe is from photographs from NASA, okay, and maybe gravity. That's your whole reason of why you think that you live on the globe. I mean, at what point did you stop believing in the Tooth Fairy, the Loch Ness Monster, and Santa Claus? At what point? So the photographs.
What about the laser experiment that you can do with the moon?
Okay, we don't know the properties of the moon because we don't believe that we ever went to the moon. There's like, well, yeah, you say this, but okay, but here's the thing: if you ask 1 in 100 people and all that, I can guarantee you, probably I don't know, 20%, 30% of that don't believe that they went to the moon. There's a big number of people that don't. Okay,
I mean,
so you're saying you can prove it?
Yep, you can shine.
Sorry, guys.
You can shine a laser at the moon. At a mirror.
We don't know the properties of the moon. That's the thing. We don't know whether it has reflective properties or
No, they
what.
put a mirror on the moon.
That's what they're telling you. Okay,
done it myself.
okay. So how did they get past the Van Allen belt?
No.
Very good. Very good. You can walk away, sir. That's fine. I'm recording for a YouTube channel. That's right. And we're recording for and people can sit. People, can I just say?
Have you got permission
No. It's a public space, sir. You have my permission to walk on. That's okay. Well, no. So that's okay. So you can walk away if you want. No, excuse me. Can I? Excuse me, sir. But then, you're asking me a question. Can I speak for me?
Hello everybody.
That's okay.
Whilst you're here, I've got a right to ask you what you're doing here.
Okay. Well, then that's go away. What?
This is rubbish.
Oh, is that a question? Is that a question?
No, it's a
Is
fact.
that right? So you just want to be rude and argumentative?
No, I'm being,
Well, no, that's being
I'm being-
rude and
no, it isn't,
argumentative.
it's being
I'm pointing it out. Okay.
I think
So
you are.
that's fine. Do you think people should be able to ask questions, sir?
I
Do you
it's
think we should be able to ask
you're
questions?
exploiting these people so
Am I?
that you can make a video for YouTube.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? There you go. Yes, let's have a look.
Satellites in space. I've seen one of those launch up into the sky. I've seen the last ever shuttle launching.
There you go. Right, so basically what you see a rocket go up, and then you see it curl over, and then you see it go down.
Straight up. That's what I've seen.
Really? Could you show me where I can find this footage?
My eyeballs.
Okay, do you know where? So I'd imagine someone's put it on.
I've seen it with my eyes.
That's right.
Genuine eyes.
Well, okay. I'll take your word that you're not a liar. I'll take your word that you're not a liar. Okay. Okay. So all I want you to do for all these people here that you're saying this, can you evidence this? Do you have any proof to this?
My eyes.
Your eye, is that proof that your eye seen something? Because I seen that pig fly from over there. Did you see the pig?
Pig.
What I'm saying is that you can't. That's not evidence. That's not your proof. That's all I'm saying. There's no proof there. If people want to make these claims, can they evidence it? That's all.
20,000 people that saw it.
Right. So we see rockets go up, and then we see it curl over, and then we see it come back down. And I can show you evidence to this. Now, now you're making a claim about something, and if you want to make that claim, you should be able to evidence this for or at least tell these people where you can get this footage.
Alright, so I have to leave 30 out now, and people that I've seen it and people that have fuck off in space.
So I'm not trying to be argumentative, but when you get silly
When
questions,
you say it's flat,
Okay.
are you saying there's like an edge?
no, we're not saying there's an edge.
If it's flat, right?
Okay, well, I know that water has to be contained. It has to be contained. I mean, like, or that water's all going to fall over. So I know whether it be 200-foot ice walls in Antarctica, or whether it would be a beach that goes around and a steady incline and all that, water has to be contained. Okay, water, the physics and properties of water has to lie, level. It finds the lowest point and is always level. That's what water does. Okay, so how can water bend round the Earth? How can water, curve right round the Earth? What's holding it all together, this water? Had a lot of gravity. Well, that's what they're telling you. So gravity, we're taught this at school. Gravity to be this fact.
Where's the edge of this flat?
Again, we've never ever claimed there's an edge. Programming and okay. So space was the edge of space when it's meant to be ever expanding infinite space. So what I'm saying is that what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying. No. So we've never claimed that as an edge. It could be infinite land that carries on forever. And if you watch a TV interview by Admiral E. Byrd, I don't know that. I've never been. I'm not making a claim either way. Okay, but if you watch this interview by Admiral E. Byrd, and I want you to remember this and check this interview out, it's on YouTube. It's an Admiral. He took 3,500 troops down to Antarctica. He says in this interview called the Longines TV, it's online, YouTube, he says that he went beyond the South Pole and then come across more land bigger than the size of America. So when I say it could carry on forever, they're not kind of my words. They're from Admiral E. Byrd. Check it out for yourself.
What about the other however many things on YouTube that say it's not flat?
Okay, so
Say for example, this white thing here is the Earth, yeah?
yes,
If I'm floating about in the Earth,
cool. Hard work here, guys.
see you later.
Cheers, buddy. Say that.
If this is the Earth, yeah, imagine this little white thing here.
Yes.
I'm walking along the Earth,
And there's the edge.
boom, see you later.
There you go. You just fell off the edge then.
Yeah,
You just found the edge.
so nobody ever fell off the Earth.
No, he does. He says that. No, no flat earther has ever claimed that as an edge. This is our own indoctrination and programming to kind of mock and ridicule the subject. Because it should be. I mean, like, this is a deep and meaningful subject to discuss. You know, like, it's not chit chat. It's not bloody. Like, you can have a bloody damn good conversation about this, and yet people kind of when they first see it, they just want to laugh and mock and take the piss. But it's not.
It's a pretty ludicrous claim.
It is. It is. I was with you a year and a half ago.
Infinitely flat.
Well, why is space okay then to say that, make that claim? Why do we say that space is infinite? We've got no proof to this. There is no scientific evidence, but we kind of widely accept it.
All right, let's go. With regards to the Earth.
I know. I'm with you because for me to even contemplate and think that, it kind of it blows my mind. It does. You know, like, so I'm with you, but I know that water has to be contained. And you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Water has to be contained. Yeah. You know, like, so we both accept that there can't be an edge, otherwise water would have fallen off. But then you still believe that you're on a globe. And I can't change your mind in 5 minutes. Not because I mean, like, it took me a long time, you know, like, to get to this point, an awful long time. I was trying. I tried so many. Oh God! I think it was 4.5 months of 18-hour days to just debunk it and call it all rubbish, but I failed miserably. You know, and the biggest reason for me is land that you shouldn't be able to see. That's you'll accept that there's some sort of mathematical formula of the curvature of Earth that goes round. Okay, the curvature, the drop. Okay, and the mathematical formula is Pythagoras' theorem, spherical trigonometry. That's the formula, and it drops at 8 inches per squared mile. So there has to be a drop. So at some point, if I'm looking across out to sea, there has to be a drop. That land's going to disappear. Okay, so this is the Isle of Man. So the guy who took this one for the Blackpool Gazette and all that, he's sorry, not for the Blackpool Gazette, it went in the Blackpool Gazette. Okay, he was stood on Blackpool Promenade, and he takes that picture on a good clear day. Okay, and then 2,500 feet should be hidden, but the highest mountain is 2,000 feet. So why can we still see land? This is Calais for Dover. You shouldn't be able to see any of that land. Maybe the very tops of the peaks, maybe you could see some of that. That's the most longest distance photograph, 273 miles, and you can still see land. Even so, I've got a yacht and I go out to sail and all that, and I can see lighthouses 20, 30 miles an hour away. We're not meant to see these lighthouses. I go to in Brixham, when I'm stood on Brixham Beach and I get my zoom camera, I can see Exmouth Beach. I can see them all playing next to me, Exmouth Beach. And yet with this trigonometry, they should be 40 feet below the curvature. It's only 40 feet based on that. And yet all of these objects and all of this land, we shouldn't be able to see. That's my biggest sort of like evidence proof. I kind of think, well, look, either they're lying about, and they've got the maths wrong, Pythagorean's theory and all that, either that's wrong, they're lying, all that, or we are on this flat land. Okay, it's only one or the other. They have to be, they can't have it both ways.
Well, let's say
And again, I don't expect you to believe a word, because I might be telling you a load of porkies about the thing. I just think that you should go away and check it out further for yourself. Sorry.
So let's say you flew from the UK to America.
Yes.
If you were then to fly back, say to Japan or Australia,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they, if it was flat, they'd have to go all the way back to Cambridge?
Yeah,
How
so
be able to
basically,
then go-
you've heard that they do these some sort of weird routes, you know, like they call them like the Great North Route or something. They don't fly straight across, they kind of go round. I think you've seen the Great Routes, they call it, or something. No, you're not aware of that. But anyway, it doesn't make any sense. So basically, if we're on this round, flat Earth, you know, round, if I walk right the way round here, I just circumnavigated this guy here, and he's not a ball. I've just gone round him, and that's what sailors and aeroplanes and all that, they just circumnavigate around the continents and that. That's all that happens.
A cylinder then?
A cylinder?
Oh no, you're saying you circumnavigate around like you did now.
Yeah, I just went round you.
Yeah,
just
I'm more of a cylinder. You
like me
just
walking
wait
round that there.
What's on the other
You
side
think?
then?
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't make any claims that we know that.
But
We're
if you
making
walk
it.
around.
Okay.
Surely you can't make claims if you know what's there though. But you can go around the earth.
Say that again.
So you can go. You can go around the earth.
Yes. I can go round. Yes.
Yeah. But why can you do that
Okay.
and it be flat? Surely it wouldn't stop at one side.
Why is that?
Because it's flat. There's an
Okay.
edge to it.
Well, you're claiming there's an edge. Again, I didn't make that claim. Do you see what I'm saying? You're bringing claims in that I didn't say.
What is it then?
Okay, so when you say what it is, I
What
mean,
shape is it? If
they-
you're not saying it's flat.
we don't know. We're not allowed to explore because there is an Antarctic treaty. See, you seem to. Can you focus on me? You okay? There's an Antarctic treaty in place signed by 53 countries. Okay, and it means that I can't go there to explore, and you can't go there. Ask them. Ask them. But did you hear when I was talking about Admiral E. Bird? Was you here when I was talking about Admiral E. Bird? So Admiral E. Bird says.
Profit, but NASA's government run. So it goes straight back into government. Like, what's the point?
Okay. Right. So right, buddy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh no. Did you? Did you? Oh right. It's been so hectic and manic here. It's been brilliant. Yeah.
So I didn't want to focus.
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Get stuck in if you want. Yeah. So we're doing a UK tour. That's all it is. We're just doing a UK tour, meeting up a few people. Look, we're asking questions just as much as you, and we haven't got all the answers. We're still asking questions. But.
But you don't have an answer for it. You can't make a claim on it.
In what? Sorry, which one?
You can claim anything.
Okay.
Like,
Which
why
one?
is this-
Which one?
You're
Which
claiming
question?
Flat. What shape is it? You
Okay,
don't know.
I know.
What is it?
I know the behaviour of water. I know it falls to its lowest level and levels out. Where from? Who? Explain to me. Can you can see? Again, I will ask you. With
Yeah, but you say that NASA, every single country, etc., that have
Yes.
telescopes which can see that far.
CGI images they're presenting you with.
Why?
Look at your go and look at your own test. Okay. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
No.
That's,
Why?
You're not listening. You're glossing over. You're asking these questions.
Why?
Right.
Why are they doing
We
this?
want to move on to why now.
Yes, because you haven't answered it.
Well, I did.
Dodgy around it.
I-
Why?
Why what? Sorry, I'm just hearing.
I know. I just get him why. I mean, he hasn't given me. Will you stop? Will you pause for a second?
You go into different.
Will you pause for a second? I did explain to you before about Admiral E. Bird. Did you hear the word? Tell me, did you hear the word Admiral E. Bird?
One person says something.
Did you hear that word? Did you hear that word? Admiral E. Bird says in a TV interview that beyond the South Pole he found more land. Okay, more land that is bigger than America. And then was it a couple of years later or something? They set up. Oh right. Just some schmuck, a sailor in a dinghy, an admiral that took 3,500 troops down there. Oh, so one of America's greatest heroes, but he's just one bloke.
Yeah, he's no
Come on, bloke. That's not the point.
So what we're saying is that he's asking for a why, but no one's ever been held accountable to go to court. So so that's
You didn't answer his
for the greatest lie. I did more land, the possibility of more land, hiding. So hiding more land, and then the fact that another why for some people could be atheism. They don't want you to believe in God. I'm not religious, by the way. I'm just saying I was an agnostic, you know. So that's another why. The fact that if you believe in creationism, if you believe that you came from monkeys, if you believe in the Big Bang, all of this is theories and no proof whatsoever. We still got monkeys, for God's sake. I'm saying control, religion as a why.
Haven't NASA seen what's on the other side?
We don't believe that NASA's been up there.
So why are they hiding it then?
Sorry?
I'm guessing if he's seen it, why would they hide it?
Control.
Control of what?
That's what you're asking too deep. No one's ever been held accountable. I've just said that. So you're asking something that I can't give you. I can't give you this definitive proof that you're going to accept. I can't do that unless I make up shit. So I can't make up shit. I'm trying to give you the facts of what I know, and that's it.
So no one else has investigated what that admiral said?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like the Antarctic. That's what I'm saying.
Chasing citizens, research is all out there, and no one's bothered.
Is it
They all in on it.
is it job security and all that? Because let's say that you're a scientist now. If you're a scientist now, and then all of a sudden you come out and say I'm a flat earther, I want to investigate this. Do you think you still have a job in science?
Yeah.
You really think that? You'd be out of a job. You'd be on your E in 2 seconds.
Science works on trying to either prove something or...
And
There's plenty of things in science that people go out to prove and they get found that they're wrong.
Okay, well that's fine. I mean, like, well, I would like them to explain gravity to me. That's what I want.
Gravity is based off a theory.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
proven, it's a theory.
A theory, but it's taught as fact. When you're trying to pass your exams and all that, you have to mark in there that, you know, like what holds water to a ball and all that. Gravity as a fact, not I think it's just this. It's a theory.
What's the alternative? Is there...
Density and buoyancy. There's an adequate alternative, and there always was before Copernicus came along and taught you all about gravity. It wasn't Sir Isaac Newton. That's nonsense.
But a lot of the stuff
You know,
we
it was. If you go and read his books, 150 years prior, before Sir Isaac Newton, Copernicus talks all about gravity. You know,
A lot
like.
of this stuff is theory, and then later on in life, you then expand on it. At
Do you
a
know?
very early level,
Yeah.
you can't have that level of
Yeah,
complexity.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go for that. That's okay.
That's why you
But
go to university, you go to secondary education. to then
for indoctrination.
No.
Indoctrination, for repeating and regurgitating, because when do you critical think and you make all these really?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Well, okay. That's fine. That's fine. You believe in gravity. Which experiment did you do to prove this? You just said that you do this all the time. I'm waiting. Which experiment did you do? You believe? Yeah. You just said that you do critical thinking, and well, come on. And gravity's got to be one of the most basic fundamentals of a law that you should have learned. So, which experiment did you do? And all I'm saying is, at school, no one does these experiments. They just believe in this scientism religion. That's it. No one makes these. They just come and say, "Oh, yeah, I don't need to do this experiment. Somebody else did it." But where's this evidence? Where's this proof? No one knows what gravity is. They haven't. You look at that. You seem a little bit bewildered by that statement.
Then, if I drop this, it's going to hit the floor now.
Because the molecules in that are heavier than the air around it. It's called density and buoyancy. It falls through the air. The air wants to go above it. This is why helium balloons go up. Why is gravity so selectful and decides that butterflies can escape, but will hold all these buildings down? Why is that? It's selectful. That's what I'm saying. Use a bit of critical thinking and analyse stuff. It's worth. Say that again. Okay. What about the helium balloons? It's got the wings as well, is it?
No, helium's lighter.
Well, there you go. That's what we're saying. Density and buoyancy. That's what we're saying. We're saying that.
I don't know what you're saying.
You're kind of actually agreeing with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Density and buoyancy. It just makes so much sense. It always was density and buoyancy. And then so-called Sir Isaac Newton comes along, and as again, it wasn't him. But anyway, Sir Isaac Newton comes along, and then we have all this brand new theory, but it didn't make sense as far as the planetary motions were concerned. So then Einstein comes along and knocks all that on the head, and he comes up with his own gravity to do is it general relativity? this bending of space and time. He reinvents it all again, and you all kind of like, sorry, I say you are, I'm pointing at you, I mean me, us, we were all taught to believe in Sir Isaac Newton's gravity, but mainstream science believes in Sir Isaac Einstein's. Do you see what I'm saying? There's two different types of gravity, and yet you all believe one thing other than the other because you're not critically thinking something, because who was interested? That's all we're saying. I think as you're becoming adults now. I mean, like, so, oh, you are adults, I would say, sorry. But like, you've got the ability to critically think and challenge, and you should be able to ask any question there is, whether it's taboo or not, without being ridiculed and, mocked. And that's it, we're just asking questions. I think as a grown man, I want to know. Sorry? No, you guys have been quite polite, but like, did you not see before when, I got hammered before? You've been fairly respectful. We're asking questions about it all.
Saying it's flat, what shape is it?
Well,
It can't be infinite land, right?
yeah, I said before, that blows my mind. You know, like, but again, I accepted space, and that was only because I was a Star Trek fan. I accepted space to be infinite. I never had no proof. Science didn't have any proof. Thank you. Yeah. So science didn't have any proof, and so I accepted that. Okay. So we're just turning around and saying that if space can be infinite, why can't land? That's all we're saying. And it's a hard one to get your head around that. You know.
Genuinely believe there's infinite land.
It makes sense to me.
Like infinite land.
The reason it kind of makes a sense as well is at an early age as well, I had problems with seasons. Seasons never made sense to me on a globe ball. You know, the very fact that at its furthest point, the sun's meant to be 93 million miles away, and its closest point is meant to be 91 million miles. Okay, and so they never made any sense to me, seasons. But on a flat Earth, they make perfect sense. Just the very fact that the 24-hour sun proves that the sun, being local, the 24-hour sun in the northern, in the north, okay, just goes round, and you can film this 24-hour sun. You can do that, go round, film this 24-hour sun, and yet when it goes into our winter and it goes further away, and then and then goes into like Australia way, because they kind of get they're meant to get their 24-hour sun when it goes down below in their summer, but they don't. There's no evidence of a southern 24-hour sun. No evidence whatsoever. They say that they see daylight 24 hours, but there's no YouTube clips or anything like that of a 20. There's thousands of the northern one, and so we're just saying around and saying that, like, why?
Do you genuinely believe there's infinite land? Would you say yes?
It makes sense. All I can say is that it makes sense to me. I don't think it's a yes or no, because it makes sense to me, but I don't know. So I have to sit on the fence. You know, I'll say I'm an agnostic to that answer. So yeah, of course you can. There's a website in there. It's great talking to you, by the way. You know, cheers, guys.
And can you prove, as I asked you before, can you prove your statements stand up?
Which one?
Any of them.
Okay. Yes. Well, let's go for land. Let's go for land that I shouldn't be able to see. And you got that on camera, did you?
I did.
Okay. So which one should we talk about? Maybe gyroscopes. Should we talk about?
Yeah, you can do.
Okay. So.
That's probably one you're very good at. Actually.
Oh, right. So you want to talk about something that I have no knowledge on? Would that be better? So, say that again? What do you mean?
It's not a bendy ball.
Okay, it's not a bendy ball, because water has to find its lower level and remain flat, does it not? And it has to be contained. Would that be right?
Well, what speed is the rotation?
Speed?
Or is it rotating?
Well, I can tell you what mainstream science says. I mean, I know it's stationary and immovable, but mainstream science says it's meant to be 1,000 miles an hour rotating.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that for a second. Not when it's 1,000 miles an hour. It's traveling around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour, and then the sun's traveling at 500,000 miles an hour, and then the galaxy is traveling at another 500,000 miles an hour, and then all these stars, they're all doing their own trajectories, and this, that, and the other.
There's no such thing as gravity.
Well, tell me what it is. Let me ask that question. Tell me what it is. This magic force, this Harry Potter wizardry of magic. Yeah. Harry Potter.
Let that go and see
Density and buoyancy adequately explains that the molecules in this are heavier than the air around it, so that moves.
Going back to water, You said water, water.
Yeah, well, I don't think density and buoyancy can hold water to the understand of a ball. But, well, okay, so which ball can we evidence this? You're the one who says I'm talking nonsense. Show me a ball that can show water bending round a ball.
Say again.
Show me evidence of water bending round a ball that can hold underneath a ball. Show me evidence, because you believe in gravity.
If you're in different areas of the world, then water bends in a different direction.
Say that again?
If you're in a different area of the world, then water bends in a different direction.
You're talking about the Coriolis effect? Is it the Coriolis effect that you're talking to?
But this doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, no, it wouldn't do in 5 minutes. It couldn't do in 5 minutes.
It couldn't even definitely.
Really? Then you must have a cup full and not half empty. You must be really closed-minded.
No, I'm totally open actually.
I don't think so. You are. I don't think I've tried to give you adequate. I'm giving you adequate explanations, but you kind of deny it without.
I think you're actually just playing to public reaction.
No.
Mobile phones or phones or.
We're trying to bring the spotlight to the media. That's what we're doing.
No, you're trying to make yourselves look good and make other people look good.
And yet the camera's not on me.
Well, you've got the camera there.
It's not on me. It's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does it make me look good?
I'm recording you because you're recording other people.
Well, that's okay. Well, so you just want to get.
A statement by
Right. This is silly now. This is antagonistic. It's just silly. It is. It's silly.
Well, is it really?
Well, yeah, because we're talking about science, and all of a sudden you've just gone off on.
You're not talking science at all. You haven't made any scientific.
So we've just talked about what's it, density and buoyancy, and yet you want to stick with your magic theory of Harry Potter wizardry of gravity.
You're not talking about it from a scientific point of view.
Really? Density and buoyancy? That doesn't adequately explain it?
Scientific point of view. Density and buoyancy.
So science is not observable, testable, falsifiable,
It is if you're intellectually.
repeatable, is it not? So all of these guys, they can't be scientists.
The intellect to back it up, then it's
So all these guys, they can't be scientists.
basically you can twist things to make anything you want.
Look,
And that goes for
I'm
religion,
sorry, buddy.
politics, and everything else. That's what you're doing now.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, that was interesting. Would you like a leaflet? Would you like a leaflet? You don't have to. There you go, buddy. That's okay. Oh, anyone want a leaflet? No? Cup's all full. You all know where you are. That's okay. Of course you can. There you go. That's it. There's a website and go and watch a few videos. Guys, was that was that my first troll of today? So there you go. That was my first troll. There you go.
It says they're lying to us. I think this guy's the guy who's been lying to us. Have you
that?
seen him? I don't know. He's one of their little henchmen, isn't it? Get on camera, innit? You on the news here?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we're all
bro.
live streaming, yeah.
Gavin Perkins, 68 Dalcove Avenue.
Oh.
That's our main guy there.
Very good. I don't know what that was. So anyway, we've we've been bombarded like this. We've actually been going here for about 4 hours or something.
Like I say,
We've got this is a diesel here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because just talking to your video. Yeah. Yeah, well, unless I have a message in your boat as well, because I didn't know who I'd be able to get hold of. Imagine one of you been driving.
Oh.
You're looking well.
Yes, that's right. He was a troll. Yeah. Oh, if anyone got any questions, would you like a leaflet? No, you're fine. You know where you are. Okay. So yeah, there you go, guys. So we've had quite a good turnout all day today, and I think people are questioning. They're questioning where they are, what they're doing. Oh, I'll tell you what, definitely need help today. There's been quite a lot of people. As I say, when we first arrived, I put the banners down. Second I got the banners down, it was probably about 50-60 people surrounded me. Couldn't get my phone out, and it was full on hectic barking, and then when it started sifting a little bit, started going away, then we started having some proper conversations. But lately we've had some really good conversations. Apart from the troll that has just left, he came up to me and at first and said, "You shouldn't be filming me." I said, "But you've just come up to me." Anyway, and then I told him, well, look, you can walk on. We're here. I'm not hiding my camera. And then he brought back his own camera to be, to be horrible. Okay, I wanted to use a bit more of a coarse word. So this is Plymouth. Quite big Plymouth. What do you think of that? I just need to. I need a breather. I've been doing this like kind of for 4 hours. I'm absolutely shattered. There you go. You are. Do you believe in the government?
Yes.
Do you believe in the government? What they tell you? What about science? Do you believe in science and education? That you might be telling you everything that's true? No, that's it. We don't either. So yeah, we're telling people that they're being lied to and to investigate themselves. I'm streaming live right now all over Plymouth. Well, it can go on your TV if you put it on your TV. No, it'll be going on, what's it, YouTube? Oh, shattered. Absolutely shattered. Yeah, we had another bit of a late night last night, and now Harry's fully with me now. He's been driving about in his car, you know, behind me, but now he's... do you think I should go for it again? Let's go for it. There you go. There you go, buddy. Do you want a leaflet there? No, you're fine. You okay? Would you like a leaflet? You okay? Excellent. You alright? Yeah, we're live streaming now. Do you want to say a few words? Hello?
Hello everybody.
Tell them how it's been today.
Oh, it's been wonderful.
He's a liar.
Where's the ball?
Jesus. No, we got hammered before. Absolutely. I put the banners down and we had 50, 60 people all around us barking.
Sorry?
Of course. Go on.
Explain why the Earth is not spinning ball.
Okay, observation, that's the biggest explanation. Do you want to grab that leaflet? And then if you look on the back, you can see land there that you shouldn't be able to see. Okay, so there is a mathematical formula of the curvature of the Earth. Okay, that's what they're telling us. It's called Pythagoras theorem, spherical trigonometry. Okay, but when you're on and it's meant to drop at 8 inches per squared mile. Okay, it goes 8 inches, 32 inches, 72 inches. So here on Blackpool Promenade on a good clear day, and it was put in the Blackpool Gazette, this one, you can see the Isle of Man. And I've spoken to people and they've been on the Isle of Man, they can see England. But you can see all of this land here, the Isle of Man, okay? 65 miles away it is, based on that curvature chart, 2,500 feet should be hidden. 2,500 feet. The highest mountain is 2,000 feet. Shouldn't be seeing any land, but we can. Okay, so even further on down, Calais to Dover, based on that spherical trigonometry, you shouldn't be able to see the White Cliffs of Dover, but you can. Even worse, 273 miles, you can see all of this land. 3 miles should be hidden below the curvature of the Earth. Even being a sailor, I go out, you know, on my yacht, I can see lighthouses 20, 30, 40 miles away. You shouldn't be able to see it. It's over the curvature, but you can. Well, no, I mean with cameras and telescopes and things. But look. I go to Brixham quite a lot. I don't know if you know Brixham. So Brixham quite a lot, and when you're there, you can see on a good clear day and with your camera and all that, you can zoom straight into the beach to Exmouth. Well, I think it's about 15 miles. It's only meant to be about 40 feet below the curvature, but you shouldn't be seeing that beach. But you can again. So I was saying, one of the biggest proofs of flat Earth is land that is meant to be over the curvature of the Earth, but we can see it. There's even a guy on the internet there, he's put a solar filter on his camera and he's got 500 miles of land that he can see. 500 miles, it should be way over the curvature. And then get your camera, zoom in, and then that brings that whole boat back into perspective. Just like when I look down the road there, I see little people. They're not little, are they? It's just that anything on the floor meets your eye level and anything up above meets your eye level. It's as it goes away. It's just called perspective. That's all it is. So,
Are you protesting?
We're not protesting. We're trying to get you and people like you is to just no. We're trying to get you to go on the website and then to watch a couple of videos and make your own judgment instead of trying to pass an exam at school. Do you see? Have you got a question? Okay, and that means no. So I'm not trying to be rude, but yeah. I mean, I went to school once. Yeah, well, satellites don't exist. They're meant to be in the thermosphere, okay? And it's meant to be very cold in space and very hot in space. I don't know if you've heard of that, okay? So it's meant to be, I think it's below 100 degrees Celsius or something, but it gets as hot as 2,500 degrees Celsius, okay? So guys, there's a few young children. I'm trying not to film them and that. Yeah, so it gets as hot as 2,500 degrees Celsius. So these satellites are made of, aluminium and titanium. They would melt in space. Yeah, and that's why we don't believe in them. They would melt. So when you've probably all got smartphones and all that. Do you think your phone communications goes to a satellite?
Yeah.
And not a cell tower? What are the cell towers for?
I've looked in the telescope and I've seen a satellite.
Yeah. So these go to satellites, and not so. Okay. Oh, well, maybe you think. Right. So they don't go to a satellite. You're saying it goes to a cell tower and then a satellite. Right. Okay. So how does it survive in the hotness of space? 2,500 insulation. I mean, like, you do know, like when you're cooking a pizza, that's 200 degrees, so 180 or 200 degrees. We're talking about 2,500 degrees. You think insulation will protect it from them sort of temperatures?
I don't think space is going to be that hot.
Really? Because that's what NASA says. That's on NASAandscience.com's website. That's where them figures come from. That's not something I just made up. So you can check that out for yourself, guys. Question everything. So what?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
So, if the Earth is flat,
So not the young kid, so we'll keep them off.
Earth is flat, why is there so many hills and?
Oh no, we're not saying all land is flat as a pancake. We're saying that the seas are 71% of water around the Earth. We're saying that.
If water on a ball, it would usually cling and it would go right around it. It wouldn't just fall off.
There you go, guys. Did you hear that? Is that what
on it?
are you taught that at school? Are you?
Yeah, it's round.
Okay. So
And
I don't know if you hear that.
Out of all those 5 pictures, which
I
one,
find that really sad.
Which one is flat?
See what?
Which one of those 5 pictures is flat?
Okay. Well, they are genuine photographs of Earth.
Okay.
So which one do you believe? They're genuine photographs of Earth. Which one? Of course you can.
Which one's flat?
So, but which one? Because we don't believe that we think that these are all doctored and CGI images. We don't believe that they're real.
If they're all pictures
Of course you can, buddy.
then they're real. If they're pictures flatter, they're not real.
You want to take a leaflet and ask them questions? There's a website in there. Go and do some. I know. Yeah, it seems stupid, but ask some more questions when you watch a couple of videos. Okay. All right then, buddy. Oh, I don't want to get into a conversation with a young lad like that who is. Oh God! I mean, you just heard it then. I don't know where they get that from. I think he's either just mistaken or what. But the fact that he's taught that water does cling to a ball when poured over, that he's taught that at school. I did hear that right. I'm sure I did. He can't possibly have been taught that. I think he's just getting that confused. But it's a shame. Yeah, I didn't really want to carry on the conversation with the young lad. But cheers, buddy. Yeah. No, we've tied it down a little bit.
Yeah, no,
but it's not enough. It should be a little bit from the top as well. You know, but it seems to be. Yeah, it seems okay, doesn't it?
It's holding okay, like I said, just literally billowed out like a sail.
Yeah, of course I have. There's a website in there for you to watch some videos.
Excellent, that's good stuff. Getting the leaflets out there.
Yeah.
It seems like people are actually stopping, having a good read, and all this kind of stuff. It's great,
yeah. I said, did you get a connection right away? Or
I'm excellent connection.
Oh, I struggled to try and get a connection today, but yeah, I couldn't even get my phone out. It was so full on.
Honestly, I was in the chat the other day when you was in Torquay, and you were literally 1 word, 2 words, and that was it.
That was it.
And I put in that, poor Jason doing all this. His arm will be aching.
What about? Did you watch the other one where I was only on for about 7 minutes or so? Because on my phone,
I don't usually get
I was live streaming for 4 hours with my arm like that.
And nothing.
and everyone said it packed in, finished at 7 minutes.
Yeah. That might have even been the Torquay one, like I say.
No, I think. Oh no, it wasn't the Torquay. It was the one before. Yeah, it was breaking up a little bit. Some people did stay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No,
But it's good, you know, like bit red pilling. See what? Oh yeah, that's okay. But we're okay for a little bit of time, aren't we?
Excuse me, can I have a smile, please?
Of course you can.
Thank you.
There you go.
Pardon?
Would you like to be interviewed?
No, I didn't hear you.
I do like the fact that they can debate themselves, but what they're doing is that a lot of the time they're reaffirming to themselves, oh, it is a goal, but it has to be a goal.
Well, the questions they ask are not really questions, they're ways of them saying they know better than you.
Reaffirmation. Of course it is.
Yeah.
So he's happy.
Science guy earlier, he keeps saying, what about scientists? What about scientists? And we're all scientists.
That's
We've
it.
got our own senses.
That's right.
Every single one of us. It's like,
No, that's okay. He's not going. I'm hoping he's not going.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it just in case.
The wind's kind of.
Just on those odd gusts. Like.
Yeah, them banners should have been at the top.
Tied up.
I don't know why. He's done that.
Imagine if it does go, it's not going to go.
Thank you for your offer before, but our idea was every time we do some activism, we're going to move on to the next town that night.
Yeah.
That way.
No,
Well, that way, no one anywhere knows where we are and all that. We can have a good night's sleep and all of that.
Yeah. No, like I say, it was only if you didn't have.
No, it was a great. Thank you.
I'm just also concerned about the memory of using up all day.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'll wrap it up with these guys then. Yeah. All right there, guys. We're coming up to an hour. There you go.
It is interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's a website and watch some videos. Yeah, I have actually, but thank you. Then I should know. You know what? I was never able to evidence it with anybody else. I couldn't take a photograph. I tried. I've been asking people, did you take any photographs? And no one does. Wow, yeah, you know, but I know the shape of the fuselage and the windows. But anyway, wind's picking up here. We're going to stick around a little bit, but we're going to end the live stream for now and maybe come back on later. We're going to have an earlier hangout tonight. I believe it's meant to be roughly around about 7, half 7, 8 o'clock or so. And when we have that hangout, we're going to try and see if we can park somewhere juicy. That's all I'm saying, juicy. We're going to do a bit of oh god, these pigeons want to attack me. We're going to do a bit of a Darrow Marble, I think, and maybe park somewhere where there's people who want to point and stare and red pill with us not doing anything, since we've got a van that is all stickered up. So yeah. Yeah, it's been a really good day here. I almost feel like Taunton and Plymouth could be, and Exeter. I'll throw Exeter in there as well. They could be like little mini speaker corners. A lot of them don't really want to debate. I know. Yeah, they don't really want to debate. So anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up and say thank you very much for joining us. My arm's aching now, so it's been a good day. I say we've had a little help, and thank you very much for joining us. So see you later. Cheers, bud. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, and people are still here. Thank you, Francis. I'm just giving you one little ask. I'm going to try and end this on 1 hour. Oh, yeah, it's just starting to die down now. It's even though it's a Sunday, it's a busy shopping day. Yeah. Right, catch us later.